Hey everybody, Tyler at Whole Property Management Denver, and today just want to talk about the question you're probably wondering about, which is what in the world is going on with the rental market right now in not just the Denver metro area, but we're seeing this nationwide. So there's a couple things going on, and one of the biggest factors that's causing the current rental market reality that we're all in right now is interest rates. So what we're seeing is a very high number, a very high amount of rental inventory across the market, particularly here in Denver. Some markets are hit worse than others. Denver's has been hit pretty hard. And why is that? Why is there so much rental inventory? Well, one of those reasons is tied to interest rates. So you've got people who sit in two camps. Number one, you've got people who they purchased their house at a 3% rate or a 2.8% rate, and they didn't really have any plans to own an investment property. But they think to themselves, why would I ever get rid of that property that's at such a low interest rate? That's basically free money. Let's rent it out instead. This is a good play to keep it and rent it. So we've got more rental inventory because of that. Now, the other camp of people is even a higher number of people, or a bigger factor pushing even more inventory in the market, which are the people who do not want to own a rental property. They want to sell their property. And they either in analyzing what their sales price would be, or they've actually listed their property and have realized that they're not going to get the sales price that they want with these interest rates. And they're yanking those listings from the market, and they're putting them for rent. They're quote unquote being forced into renting that property. That's a lot of people out there. I talk to people, many people every week that are in that exact boat. Their house is currently listed for sale. They're going to pull it, right? We all kind of got this 2022 value of our property in our minds when Scott, values went through the roof during COVID. And that's really the price that people want. Or maybe they bought a post COVID and they bought a little bit higher of an interest rate, a little bit higher of a price. And now they would be either breaking even or actually taking a loss to sell that property right now. So they are renting those homes, townhomes, condos out. So that adds a lot of rental inventory onto the market. And we're seeing that right now. It's November of 2025. So typically we would be seeing a lot less people listing rental properties, but that is not the case this year because, right, people list in the summer, and it's the end of the summer, the fall, where those listings have been sitting for months, those for sale listings, and they've pulled them off late, and they're adding them or listing them for rent later in the year. So that's why we're still seeing such a high amount of rental inventory this late in the year. Now, the other factor is how much apartment construction happened in the Denver metro area. Really, that craze started about 2013 when we were fully out of the Great Recession. Economy had recovered, marijuana was legalized, and then there was this huge influx of people into Colorado. And that was actually bumped again during COVID when people left huge city centers, and a lot of those folks came to Colorado. Now that's dropped off. But corporations, institutions were building buildings as fast as they could. Those projects take a long time from inception to completion. So we're still seeing, even though we're not going to see a lot of this level of new construction permits right now, right? People are probably not wanting to start new apartment projects right now, but the ones that were started a few years ago, they still have to be completed and then absorbed by the market. Now, those are very, almost exclusively 1 and 2 bed units. So we're seeing right now that if you own a 1 or 2 bed unit, maybe that's a condo or a townhouse or even a very small single family home, you're really feeling the pinch right now because of how many 1 and 2 bedroom units. Right now, this month, November of 2025, there's somewhere around 12,000, 12,500 1 beds for rent, about 11,500 2 beds for rent. So that's a lot of competition, and those apartment buildings are almost universally giving away 1 or 2 months of free rent to get somebody to sign a lease. So you're going to have to do that as well. Now, what will happen here? Obviously, this is going to correct itself over time because we have a lot of landlords that have rentals on, out in the rental market or in the rental stock right now that don't want to be landlords. They want to free that equity up to do something like they want to buy a new primary residence and they can't because they need that equity. Those people will exit the rental world as soon as they can. First opportunity, Maybe a life event happens that spurs this along. Maybe interest rates come down a little bit. They can get a better price. They will get out of the game, and that will bring rental inventory down. And then, of course, as we see new construction of apartments fall, I think it's going to fall off a cliff. Then that existing 1 and 2 bed inventory will be absorbed, and then we're going to see rental inventory will be reduced significantly. Rents will go up. That's going to take, in my estimation, another 2 years for us to feel it. And then for that third year and beyond, I think we're going to be at a much better place. But again, that's what's going on right now in the rental market. If you have questions about that, just give us a call here at Whole PM at 720-737-1373.